This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And this is for the players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast. Over 40 years of playing PlayStation and 8+ years in that games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every single Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/popculturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you.
If you support us on Patreon, you can watch us record this show live. We only give you like 5-10 minutes notice, so sorry about that.
Hey, but you still can, not lying.
But you still can. You still can.
Fine print.
Technicality. And if you want to show the support for PopCulturists on your body, hit popculturists.com/shop. We can buy shirts like this, and still not that one.
Is you haven't given it back to me?
Oh, it's in the other room. I'll have to get it out of there. It's all washed clean.
I want it back before Dylan tries to fit into it. It just holds my boobs.
Head to popculturists.com/shop where you can buy other sort of shit with our logos on it. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopculturists.
Was that it?
I decided to hold on it because I wanted to get the ASMR beard scratch noise.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise that had come through the mics.
It's very, very, very slightly.
I need to stop doing that then.
Oh, no. I wasn't having a go. I was like, oh.
1 hour of Josh's beard scratching. My skin's so raw. It's blood.
I know this sounds horrible. It's one of the funniest videos I ever saw. It was like an ASMR whip Nene while parents fighting in the background.
I've seen that too. The kid's like 12. Fuck you, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, you would say that.
That's really sad.
It is. That's so
really
sad. It's so sad.
But he found a way to make it funny. I mean, he uploaded it.
He did. He's like, oh, this will get some hits.
It did. Yeah.
And it really did. How's your week been, man?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Yeah? Anything cool?
Days Gone's cool.
Yeah, we'll get to
talk
that.
about that later. Oh, well, I just gave my thoughts. It's cool. Game of Thrones coming to an end.
Yeah? We're about to get ready for presumably the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, we were just pitching theories a minute ago.
I think the general consensus is that people just don't want the show to end.
Yeah.
But it is. So we have to deal with that.
It's one of those things. Much rather it end now while it's doing well than have it drop 20 seasons in.
I don't know, but it seems like this at the high point.
It's a good time to go out though.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It is. There's a lot of you could expand on a lot. There's still a lot of interesting stuff that could have happened, in the books, not in the books, all that kind of stuff. What?
Paul James jumped in the chat and goes, so this is the podcast where we talk about the Offspring's Days Gone By.
It will be later.
No, it's actually the Keith Urban song, Days Gone By.
Oh.
It's a whole episode about Keith Urban. Days gone by, something.
What's his latest song?
I'm a country singer, man.
I've got a horse in the back. What's that? What is... Someone did a country song that got taken off a country label because it wasn't country enough.
Okay.
And it's like a hip-hop rap kind of song.
Well,
so Billy Ray Cyrus is like, I'll rap it. I am country, so they have to keep playing it. And he's like, I got a horse in the back. And it's fucking horrible.
They redid Achy Breaky Heart, yeah. But it was like, don't do my heart. It's real bad.
Horrible.
It's about as bad as I just made it. It's not very good.
There's more news trickling out about WoW Classic.
Oh,
actually,
I
did. I was reading it and I did the. I did a little giddy foot stomp because I'm so excited. Yeah,
the whole body just gave in.
Because they're not just dumping it out as the last vanilla patch.
Mm-hmm.
They're releasing it with no raids, and then a few months later they'll bring in the first patch that brought in the first raids, and then a few months after that they'll.
And this is all sanctioned by Blizzard, yeah.
This is official Blizzard, yeah. This is them. So it's vanilla from launch all the way up until the final patch, but in a roadmap style. So it's gonna. There's at least 3 years of content updates that they're going to be bringing out, Like the vanilla experience. First, the molten core
But is it
raids
that
came out.
different from like
Retail.
the new? Like, as in, like,
Yeah.
why is there
Hugely.
such an appeal? Is this purely nostalgia?
Look, a lot of it obviously is, but the game was a lot more complex back then,
Okay.
and you also... WoW is a single-player game now. It is.
Yeah, true.
You if you want to do a dungeon, you hop in the random dungeon queue, it randomly pairs you with people, it teleports you to the dungeon, you silently clear the dungeon, you bail. Never see them again. Back then, you had to find a group manually go to the dungeon. Dungeons were fucking hard. You had to communicate and crowd control and all that kind of stuff, which led you to socialize, which led to communities, which led to new friends, which led to, you know, people knowing each other and, you know, having acquaintances. The world was just more alive, lived in kind of a thing. You had to communicate and talk and meet new friends and all that kind of stuff. And
That's true.
I think that's what a lot of people miss, because WoW now is basically you can just play it by yourself.
Yeah, it's true. When I played WoW, I just played music. And I just didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, but not even like just chatting to people. Like, hey, we need to, you know, CC these 3. I'll tank this one, and then we'll get that one. You know, you had to strategize, and the game was just more difficult and complex. It had a lot more different moving parts to it, instead of just being really kind of dumbed down. That's why a lot of people are excited.
No, I get it. I thought it was just primarily nostalgia. They're like,
Oh, it's
we could
hugely
make-
nostalgia.
We could make money on this.
I could hop on and be like, get to level 10 and be like, I'm done. You know, I've had my little fix. Or I could just fall right back into it.
That's dangerous.
And I kind of want to fall right back into it. Because it's rumoured to be out around July.
Oh, no.
That's a rumour.
Well, there's not much at the back end of this year yet, so...
It wouldn't... Yeah, but it wouldn't have... It's not like it competes with anything.
Yeah. No, I mean for you, being like, well, I've got nothing else to play.
Well, yeah, from May, because we got Rage 2 next month. Slay the Spire, I'm very excited for. It's finally coming to console. And then until, like, September? When was Outer Worlds? Was that August?
Paul?
Outer Worlds is out at some
I
point.
think it's September.
I'm not too keen on Star Wars, like Jedi Fallen Order. So, you know, I'm excited for WoW Classic. If anyone listening in our community is planning on jumping into WoW Classic, let me know.
Yeah, I have a feeling Chris Conway might be up in that bitch.
We'll be friends. We'll be fast friends. I think Craig too.
Yeah, Craig might want to jump back in. That's a bit dangerous.
What about you?
I've been still on holidays this week, so I've been sort of just maxing, relaxing. Yeah, painted a lot of minis this week, which was fun. Went to Paris's and we just painted minis. Like, rather than doing it at work, having to be like socialize with people and be, you know, do our job.
You can just sit next to
We
each other
just-
quietly.
We sat there in literal silence and went,
What do you think? Cool.
he's like, do you have blue? Yeah, thanks. It was rad. And then, so that we did that twice. We did that on Friday. Friday was the very much. I painted Batman. He painted a Batman. He's Batman. Way better than mine. Yeah, unquestionably. But we caught up on Wednesday, and we did the same thing, except we had the wrestling on. So we watched Raw and SmackDown. Like, well,
Oh. Hey!
It was cool. So they got, you know, he got to see like the Bray Wyatt stuff the first time because he hadn't seen it, and he's like, "That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen." I'm like, "No, that is the greatest thing you've ever seen. That shit is going to be awesome." And then other than that, yeah, playing Days Gone as well, but we'll talk to that in a little bit. Played some more Porsche on my time at Porsche. Fuck, the game's good.
I did notice you playing it the other night.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, and I got I don't know, I think I mentioned it compared to last week. I got the campaign, quote unquote, credits on Division 2.
Oh, nice.
So I've now finished the main campaign. I'm now all in-game stuff. And if I wasn't playing Days Gone right now, probably should be playing Division.
Alex has started playing it now.
Oh, nice.
One of his buddies has it. He's having a good time.
Yeah. Shit's good.
It's just,
Fuck, that game is so good.
It's just good.
So like I'm now not on, like I'm not going to grind for the end game, but I am sort of like just piss farting around. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go do that mission again, but I'll do that mission on hard. You know what I mean? Like I'll bump it to normal or something. You know, I kind of like fuck around with it, and slowly but surely getting there. Still single player. I haven't done any multiplayer thing. I died a little bit of the Dark Zone. Got mushed.
Oh, did you? Someone killed you?
Oh, fucking hard. But I'm gonna go back and give it another bill. Because now that you've whipped out your PlayStation, because you forgot that you had a second one.
Yeah.
So how's the life coming back to the PlayStation?
Laggy. Slow. Constant testing the internet connection so the store will load. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty shit.
Very weird.
If I have a game suspended,
Yeah.
it's horrible. It is absolutely horrible just to navigate the
You got a
menus and
Slim,
stuff.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only not even a year old, I think.
What's the same internals as an OG, so...
Yeah, but it's not like it's been running for 5 years.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't have all that,
Mm.
what's the word? Whatever behind it.
Yeah.
It's fresh.
Not being beaten to the ground.
It's just had a shower. It's feeling,
Yeah.
feeling good.
It's very nice.
It's feeling very good.
Don't put your PS4 in the shower.
No.
Just saying.
But you can.
Yeah, if you're so inclined, you're totally good.
No, but it's just... The UI just seems very, very laggy.
Yeah.
Sometimes the store just won't load. It'll just sit there.
I've never had that problem.
I have to exit the store, go to network, hit test internet connection, so it does all that, and then the store loads beautifully.
That's never happened to me.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm not the only one either.
that's
'cause
what
I've
I'm
been
saying. Like,
Googling
I've heard that shit constantly. I myself, like, sometimes it'll go. Yeah,
you have a pro though.
I do have a pro. Yeah.
I can't.
And it's hardwired. I don't use Wi-Fi.
If I'm playing a game and I want to do something else on the PlayStation, I have to save and close it.
Yeah.
Because suspending it just makes it horrible.
See, I don't use the suspending ever.
Well, like if I'm playing Days Gone,
Yeah.
and I hit the PS button to go to YouTube,
Oh, you mean that?
it
Okay.
suspends Days Gone, and then when I go back to Days Gone, it brings me back to exactly where I was.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Very rarely do I do that, but yeah.
But I never. Yeah, it's fine. Did my name change? I haven't been affected.
Wait, so what are you now? Sir
Short Stuff.
That's SER.
SER, like Game of Thrones Knights. Sir Short Stuff.
I'll have to make sure I have to change all the descriptions now because I'm pretty sure they still have microcards.
Ah, well, I still have it in brackets for, I guess, another 3 weeks.
30
or so.
days, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have you seen any problems with it?
No, I've heard of some though. I was listening to another PlayStation podcast on the way here, Sacred Symbols, and there's a YouTuber who just tests all this shit. Mystic or something.
Yeah.
And he did the name change on his PS3. Everything was okay on the Vita until he loaded Black Ops 2. It bricked his console.
Saying that though, they have also in their disclaimer they're like, look, we can't vouch for anything on PS4 or Vita.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I know, but it is.
And it's totally true.
It literally
yeah.
bricked his console.
The video is on the internet. I watched it. It's
is
on
it?
YouTube. And
Yeah.
Like,
So if for some
fuck.
reason you play Black Ops 2 on PS3 still, don't change your name because you will lose everything. What are we talking about?
I don't remember.
Oh, me back on PlayStation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Took a while to get used to the controller again. I feel like I'm stretching my thumb a lot. I'm used to having it just resting where the Xbox joystick is.
See, it's funny you say that because every time I pull up the Xbox, I'm like, I'm not stretching my thumb enough. Like it's just.
Oh, really?
It seems. I don't
But
feel like.
I played the Xbox exclusively for 5 months.
You all know. I mean, like when I'm like, I feel like I don't have as much control over my thumb, even though I technically have more control because I'm not cranking it.
Just muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
But look, you there's some news we're about to get to. That
Yes,
may
there
think
is.
You may have to piss far around with the PS4 a little bit longer. But this is in a section we call Inform the Players, where we tell you about the PlayStation news you need to know about this week.
So most of the news this week I've just condensed to quick bits so we can talk more about Days Gone. Yeah. Because that's important. Nevertheless, number one, Sony will not launch PS5 before April 2020, ruining Josh's prediction in 3 days since he made it. I said last week it'll be out in March.
Yep. I was like, yeah, I like that. I'll go with that.
Yeah, that lasted about 3 days. The statement comes from Sony's PR department in the wake of the company's end of financial year results and reported by the Wall Street Journal writer Takashi Mochizuki on Twitter. Quote, no next-gen PlayStation launch over the next 12 months, he said. That's assuming the console will release in 2020 at all, because we have no official suggestion as to what year the next-gen hardware will launch.
Interesting.
It's definitely next year.
Oh, yeah.
It's 100% next year.
Yeah.
Not in March. Definitely next year, though.
Yeah. But do you reckon by the end of next year?
We'll
Like
have
Christmas, do you reckon Christmas? Like, they're not going to release it mid-year or nothing?
June.
Okay.
Just after E3.
Whip that dick out at E3.
Yeah. They're going to go back to E3 and be like, PS5 is out tomorrow, and here's all the things.
Okay, and you've gone a little bit too specific.
Okay, well, just after E3. Within a month of E3, we'll have the PS5.
All right. I like it. I'm down with it.
And then when that's debunked, I'll change it again.
Look, I'm going to say, although I did like your early year prediction, and I thought that would have been the way to go, I am kind of in the, it's got to be Christmas, it's going to be holidays.
Depends when Xbox launches.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to launch the same week.
They have in the past. Did last time.
I thought they were a week apart.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not like.
So I thought you meant like as in like within 7 days.
Were they 2 weeks apart or a week apart?
I think it was a week.
PS5 becomes the new Dreamcast, says Paul.
No.
The Dreamcast was really good. I still have one, and it's brilliant. Number 2, Hideo Kojima has revealed some new details about Death Stranding at the Tribeca Film Festival in New
I
York.
reported this about 2 weeks ago.
That he was going to,
Yeah.
and now he's been there, and he's said some more vague things. So here it is. But as with so many Death Stranding related things, the details are vague and leave us with more questions than answers. Quote, "It's an open world action game, but it's really something new," said Kojima via Games Radar.
Old dudes.
Part of that something new appears to be a focus on connections. There are so many things happening in the real world, in America, in Europe. Everything is actually connected via the internet, but we're not connected in the real world these days, Kojima revealed. Quote,
Okay,
"I'm putting that..." let me finish.
Yeah.
"I'm putting that as a metaphor in the game," he elaborated. "The player will have to reconnect the world in the game. You are very alone. There's solitude, but you're trying to connect. The story and gameplay, the key word is connection. There are so many things in between, of course, but the key is connection."
That's kind of not new-ish. Like he's mentioned in the past the idea of connection with the ropes tethering people together. Like when they old.
He's talking about
Mads-
metaphorical connections, though.
Yeah, but then he was like, when is it Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah.
When came out and he had his face on, he had all those ropes that kind of.
Yeah.
Like I remember him talking about at RTX. It's like it's about ropes. I'm like, I think that's been poorly translated.
He also did say he can't say anything because Sony will be mad at him, but maybe in a month or so. So in about a month, we'll get more stupid bullshit about this stupid bullshit game that I have lost.
I want to play.
That I have
also
lost
stop caring.
all hype for. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Show me something tangible.
Tangible.
Like these new gains I'm making at the gym. Top selling games for week ending last week. At number 10, Far Cry New Dawn. Number 9, FIFA 19. Number 8, Division 2. Number 7, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 6, Sekiro. Number 5, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Number 4, number 4 is Fallout 76. Number 3, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 2, Spider-Man. Number 1, World War Z, which is apparently very, very good.
Yeah,
I've heard.
I was under the impression it was an ass.
I was under the impression it was going to be hot shit like Overkill's The Walking Dead. Apparently, it's very good.
Yeah, I was looking at it going, this looks so double A. It's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, but it's a good AA game at a AA price.
Yeah, it's like $55.
What did you just lose?
The little clip that holds the mic cable.
Yeah, it's like $50. I'm going to check that out in a downtime.
Apparently, it's like what Left 4 Dead
Yeah,
3 would be.
yeah, that's fine. Congratulations.
I'm down
to
with
them. Anthem not in the list anymore,
Yeah, fuck that noise.
even though it's like $30.
So some of those games are on, so because there's that Easter sale is still currently
Yeah,
on.
the Fallout 76 is consistently in there. So whatever the general gaming population thinks about it,
Are you randomly bleeding?
I'm randomly bleeding.
Do you need to duck out for a sec? To wipe your hand?
No, I'm a warrior. I won't touch your laptop though. What did I do?
No, what did you do?
Picked a scab.
Do you want to go wash your hand?
Yeah, I better.
All right, I'll jump into the next run through some of these quick bits while Josh cares to his bleedingness. Number 1, Sony has announced that 96.8 million PS4 consoles have been sold worldwide. So that's interesting. So that's not sold through to retailers. That is genuinely sold. That's pretty damn impressive. I reckon they'll hit 100 million by the end of the year.
It's on track to beat PS2.
On track to beat PS2? That sounds about right. I reckon they'll without a doubt clear 100 million by the end of the year, if not sooner.
Sure. Easy. Well, they sold 17 million last year, which is down on the year before, but above what they were expecting. So, Bloodbourne, the board game, which is based on the PlayStation 4 title by FromSoft, has reached its Kickstarter goal of $200,000 in less than 20 minutes. As of right now, it's sitting at 2.8 million pledged with 17 days to go. They only wanted $200,000.
Not funny.
And they got nearly 3 million, and they're not even halfway through yet. Wow.
Paul James, old school PS Harvey reference.
That's Waterman.
I love that.
Okay.
That bit was also good.
Persona 5 Royal, an expanded re-release of Persona 5, will launch later this year in Japan, with the Western release due in 2020.
That's far away.
That's pretty far away, which is good because I couldn't do it
You can do it
again now. I need some time. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, a Musou spin-off of the mainline Persona series has been announced for PS4 and Switch. It's like a Dynasty Warriors game. set in
Oh,
Persona.
ew.
Yes, it looks okay. Next COD title leaked is Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen. That's happened a couple times.
That was leaked by, they invited a bunch of NFL players to play it, and they were like recording each other, and someone turned on subtitles, and they're talking about Modern Warfare 4 and kill streaks and stuff like that, and the subtitles pulled that up. Whoopsie! 2K and Gearbox will showcase Borderlands 3 in action Wednesday, May 1st, and you can watch the gameplay live.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the social medias for 2K ANZ because they've actually invited a bunch of Aussie streamers to go over there and check it out. There's a bunch of cool names associated with that, and we're big fans of 2K ANZ. Their PR and community team are great, so give them some love.
Yeah. Anything else to touch on with that?
Like I said, I think once again, PS5. Maybe the reason they're like not going to plan for April or at least this financial year is so they can maximize those millions of consoles. If they're like, hey, it's not in the near future, everyone's like, well, I guess I'll buy a Pro.
Those questions are already popping up on like PlayStation Reddits and all that. Is it worth me buying one now? And if it was like, well, the PS5's out in 9 months, I'd be like, well, no, don't.
Well,
but now everyone's like, yes, you got heaps of time.
See, but what I love is these are the same people that like. They're still got a PS3 and like, should I buy a PS4? Just wait. It's been 7 years. Motherfucker, you weren't going to buy one anyway. That's the thing I hate. Like, should I just wait? Like,
just got a new PS4. What games do you recommend, boys?
Oh, you fucking son of a bitch.
I know, it really gets under your skin.
It hurts me so bad. No, because like the idea of like waiting like...
Is The Last of Us worth $15.95? I've heard it's pretty good. Please validate me.
Am I the only one that thinks Uncharted 4 was really good? Yes. Yeah, no. Everyone else strongly disliked this incredibly well-received game.
Are you done?
No, but I am.
That's it for the news and Ryan's rant, everyone, as we move on and have a chat to the players about Days Gone, Sony Bend's first mainline console release since the PS2.
That's right. So this week's, we did get the release of the first party game for this year, for 2019, right? Right?
Dreams? Early access beta?
It's early access.
Apparently it's very good.
Apparently it is very good.
Actually, when we're done, I'll have a quick chat about Dreams.
Oh, okay. Sounds good to me. But yeah, so that game is finally out. It came out on Friday of last week. So big thank you to PlayStation Australia for whipping us that little press kit box back there. Right there. The book.
Oh, is that the box that it came?
Yeah, so it came in that little with that little art book.
That's cool.
And I also picked up the collector's edition.
The art book that we can't look in because it has story
we can look in that one. That one's a bit more free.
Okay.
That one down there is full of spoilers.
Right. Understand.
So, we're going to give you our first impressions with the game. Because, like, we're not ready to review it yet. We're not like all these other big old websites that apparently review games without finishing them. No. Oh, that's sick burn on them.
That's okay. Because if you can't finish the game, then you have to put down your reasons for that. But you should tell everyone that you didn't finish it.
Yeah.
There are certain reviewers out there a little bit under fire after people checking their trophies.
But it's saying that we all have confirmation that they have had the codes for like 4 weeks.
Yeah. Whatevs. So, before we discuss, how much time have you put into it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Probably like 4 or 5 hours.
I put in about 15.
Fuck.
Ish. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm underselling it. I don't know.
I think you're underselling it.
Yeah.
Because you're not far off me.
Yeah.
But I've definitely put in about 12 to 15 hours.
I played a couple hours this morning. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I put 1 5 hours already in the last 2 days.
Say you're about 10.
Yeah, I'll say 10.
About 10. Because you're not far off. We're almost at the same point.
Yeah.
I think I'm at...
Fuck this chair, by the way. Fuck it so hard.
I will. We're almost at the same point.
Yeah. So we'll give a quick rundown of the game. So Days Gone is set in Oregon, which is one of the Midwest states of the United States. So it's a lot of forest, a lot of like sort of green and
dirt
mountainy and dirt roads. You play the character of Deacon St. John, a member of the Mongrels? Mm-hmm. The Mongrels.
Badass name, by the way. Deacon St. John is a cool name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Have you heard IGN's like, what a white boy name? Like, it's like a white cisgendered name. Like, oh, fuck down. But yeah, you play Deacon St. John, so the game sort of sets up, this is not spoilers, the game sets up that you and your buddy Boozer, I always thought it was Boomer, but it's Boozer, in the chaos as this freak outbreak, so this zombie outbreak in the game has taken place. You, as Deacon, are trying to get your partner, your wife, Sarah, out of it. She's been...
out of the shit.
She's been janked somehow. Someone shanked her, and you got to get her into that shit. So that the game sets up with she's in a helicopter. They take her away. 2 years later, you are in the thick of it. That's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not going to hit any too big spoiler bits because this is all first impressions, of course, but that is the first,
Well, there isn't many,
2
actually.
minutes.
In terms of, like, overlying story, I don't really have any spoilers to give.
Yeah, it's
even
true.
if I wanted to, because it's just not that kind of game so far. What
So do you want to get some like our general thoughts first, and
So
then we'll get to
when-
specifics?
when I first started playing it, probably for the first 5 hours or so, I was very underwhelmed.
Okay.
I was like, oh, yeah, this is okay. Oh, that's a bit annoying. This feels like an open world game from 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I can. But the more I'm playing it now, the more I'm really kind of falling in love with it. Once you kind of get past the little quirks that it has, it's really, really enjoyable. It's like, the best way to describe it, I think, is a Ubisoft game without the map clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of see that perspective. It looks amazing.
It does look
Like
good.
the world looks amazing. You know, the trees bending in the wind slightly and all that kind of stuff. Faces look pretty good. Not like Naughty Dog good, but they're good. The game looks great. It sounds great. And I've found the more I've played it, the more I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if they developed it from start to finish. And throughout that time, you can kind of see the little tricks and stuff they're learning on making this game. And I think it's kind of noticeable, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like you can, while you play it, you can feel the growth during the development cycle. Yeah.
Because like I said before, this is their first mainline console, Sony Bend's first console game since the PS2. They did 1 game on the PSP, 2 games on the Vita since the PS2. So it's worth having that perspective going in. Like, they're not familiar with all of this. This is really them trying their best at something really, really new that the studio itself hasn't really had to do before.
Spot on.
In this respect. So yes, there are annoyances, and I've got a pretty big list of shit that I'm like, that's not very good. But it's clear that they really fucking cared, and they tried very, very hard.
Yeah.
And I think they've done it so far. I think I'm about maybe halfway through. I don't know how long the game goes for, but I'm about 15 hours. I'm going to imagine it's about 40 hours long. I think it's very, very good. With some minor gripes, which I will get into.
I agree. They said the game started very, very clunky. Like in terms of its story beats, it's like, here it is. Okay, like it really felt like, because I think Dylan was playing it with me, and he literally goes, "Did we miss something?" I'm like, "No, it just started here." So like they set up this small bit, and then you go into the game. But as you proceed later, further in the game, they fill in those blanks at the start. Oops, shit. So it
There are flashbacks.
There are flashbacks to kind of build on that narrative that you feel like you've missed out on, which is cool because I feel like I don't feel entirely connected to Deacon yet, but I'm starting to understand Deacon more.
Yeah, so initially I thought...
So, and other than that, my points are very similar to Josh. I think the world looks absolutely fabulous, way better than I sort of expected. There is a lot of, as you said, there are parts of it that do feel a little dated. Like the mission to mission structure does feel a little bit, a couple of years out. But saying that though, like Spider-Man had that same setup, like that's a big thing. So I'm like, I guess can't be too shitty about it because it's fine. Load screens, bit of a shit. Like
the initial one booting the game up
is massive.
very, very long. The fast traveling loading screens are reasonable.
Yeah, it's in between cutscene ones that are the problem. I find that really breaks the flow, and that is a concern. But that can also be patched out too. So as of right now, those load times are a little shit.
This is all with the day one patch as well.
Yeah, 1.04 whatever it is.
I found initially, I didn't like Deacon at all. I don't like this guy. He's angry and he's weird. He speaks really disjointedly, and the way his inflections don't match the situation he's in. I was like, I don't like him at all. But after spending about 15 hours with him and seeing some flashbacks, it's like, this man's damaged.
Yeah, it's 100%.
And because I thought this is a really weird design choice to have the ums and the ahs and the... Sometimes it's like he's going to talk like Joe from Family Guy, like, oh yeah, Copeland, okay. Like he gets that, like he gets that really behind. I'm like, this is just weird. But in the flashbacks, he's just speaking like a normal bloke. So it's obvious that's an intended design choice, and I'm sure we'll find out the reasons for that as we go on. But so far, he's a broken man.
100%.
Shit has happened.
You can really tell, like, something is... It's almost like that moment that he had to put Sarah, which is his partner, onto that helicopter, like, shit broke and shit changed. Once he sort of had to come with the We're led to believe that she's dead, and that's what we know at this point. So we say led to believe because there's also this kind of underlying, like, is she, isn't she? Like, in terms of the story, that's pretty much the whole story at this point. There's not much else we can jump on there. But I think him losing her has broken him and the world around him. Like, you start to see that the effect of this end of days is fucking with him. And
but there's even
like there's a scene where he has to shoot an innocent man, like this is in a flashback, and you can see the response in him when he does that, and you're like, this is one of those moments of change.
There's a lot more history there with him as well, which I haven't hit yet, but in each of, because there's camps around the map that you can go to, they're like where you can stock
little
up,
hubs, you know,
refuel, get get ammo for your weapon, all that kind of stuff. In each camp I've been to 3. There's obvious history there over the last 2 years he's spent before we pick up our time with him, and it's not all good, and you can tell it's not all good. One, sometimes just because it's said, hey, fuck you, get out. Other times it's just in the dialogue.
Animosity,
dialogue, there's just little stabs and all that, hinting that, more shit has happened than we know about. Whether we get to know about it or not, I don't know yet. But what I'm kind of getting at is, you might not like Deacon at first, but really pay attention to the flashbacks and everything. You can see you probably should sympathise with him.
I don't think it's something you may not end up liking him, but I think you may understand him.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the big difference here. So rather than being like, when you finish God, we're like, I really like Kratos. Kratos is rad. But
that was a good arc, and he's a good man.
Yeah.
Deacon's not a good man.
No.
He has good values, but he's not really a good man.
Yeah, like some of the things you have to do, because as a drifter, you are not aligned to any camp. You are like a nomad. Like,
you're a bounty hunter.
As his cut says, he's nomad. Like, he doesn't have a home. He wanders around, does whatever. And you big old bounty.
You're treated as bounty
collector.
hunter. Go to this camp's like, hey, I got a job for you. Go do it.
Yeah.
And then the other camp's like, hey, come here.
You're a bounty hunter. You're a mercenary. That's kind of what you do at this point. So for that reason, there's no real grounding in that sense.
But the whole idea is that him and Boozer are biding their time to go north.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but their plan
their escape
from the
plan.
get-go is they want to go north. Don't know why. Maybe it's just for a fresh start. Maybe they think there's something up there.
I think it's just greener pastures.
I think it's just there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of history in Oregon for them, and I think they just want to leave it behind. Maybe there's obviously something bigger is at play. I don't know what it is yet though. Let's talk about freakers.
So the freakers are what they're calling the zombies here. So
Hang on.
What?
They're not zombies.
No. If you simplify it,
no, but
what they're referring.
I know. The idea is they bite you and shit. Don't know if them biting you turns you into one. That's never been said. I've seen them literally at the rivers, drinking water and all that. They've got something going on up here. They're not just mindless, or they are mindless. But what I'm getting at is they do behave.
Let's get freaky, says Paul.
They do behave differently to what you'd expect a zombie. They fucking run at you very fast. But if you just sit back and watch them, they'll drink water. They'll look in things. They kind of explore
and they
around.
Nest.
They nest, which is pretty cool, especially when you set on fire and they're like, "What the fuck?"
But what I love though is it's always the corner of a room, so it's no bigger than this. Not even. It's this corner of this room nested up. You let it on fire, 15 dudes come out.
You could fit 15 dudes in here.
Yeah, very tough though.
I'm sure they're not after a comfortable living space.
Not lying around having tea.
But
and shit.
nesting, what does that mean? Do they breed with each other?
Yeah. Hey,
what's the story with that? But there's 6 different kinds of freakers, I think.
Yeah,
6 or 7.
So we've just one of them we've discussed before, which is the newts. So the newts are the kids that have turned.
I like them.
They're
They're scary as fuck.
Fuck yeah. So what's great about them is they don't jump at you straight away. They'll watch you, keep an eye on you, they'll scream at you, and they'll only attack you if they either feel threatened or you engage in their territory.
Or they notice that you're low on health.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because like when we played it Days Gone, when we played Days Gone at PAX, that was the first thing I noticed was they've got kids. Like these kid ones, and you don't see, and you can fucking wang those kids with like a 2x4.
Yeah, I got I had a spiked baseball bat. And I hit it, and the head like stuck to it for a second there, and then it just started flying away.
But I mean, it's just like
you normally can't beat up kids.
You can't. Like, normally, they're like there's just an abundance of adult zombies. Like Walking Dead had kid zombies, but it's not quite the same. Like it's a little different, and I thought that was awesome. Like it was a really cool little touch.
There's the freakers who are just they shamble around. They'll come at you.
Fast.
They'll run at you.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead speedy zombies. World War Z zombies. Yeah, 28 Days Later is probably the better one. Yes.
Then you got the newts who are the little ones that hang around the roof. I've found the runners.
They're just fucked up like wolves.
Yeah. No. What?
Yeah, I go like, oh my god, it's a runner, and I got fucked up by a wolf.
I don't think so.
I've been fucked up by
but he only said
wolves.
that when I was riding my bike really fast. I'm like, what? Where?
Yeah. So apparently I'm thinking a runner is a fucked up wolf. I've fought some regular wolves, and then I was like, woo! It's almost like
rabies wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. But that leads into the main hook for it is the hordes. Now, this is what separates it from most other zombie games, other than World War Z, which came out 2 weeks before. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. The hordes are incredible. They just show up, not really out of nowhere. I don't know. You can see them just shuffling across the map and you're like, oh, I'll stay away from there. Or they can just come up in your business and just completely change what you're doing and the way you're forcing you to change the way you play. Like I've got a clip I actually saved. I've set a nest on fire. I'll quickly run out, get up onto the roof and, take them out from there. Set the nest on fire, ran outside, went up the ladder, looked over the edge of the roof, and there's a horde there, all looking at me. And by a horde, I mean there was about 70 zombies. Freakers.
So they've claimed that there can be like 400, 500 of these fuckers in a horde.
I was riding my bike once and I went through like a mass graveyard. It's like, fuck this company for like dumping all the bodies here. I'm like, yeah, fuck them. Mass graveyard? 70, 80 of them. Yeah. And it's just like, holy, how do you deal with this? There are many ways you can deal with it. You do have, as insurmountable as it seems, you can deal with it. Especially with Molotovs.
And like on top of that, there were some smart little changes as well in terms of the horde setup, right? So throughout the world, there are these little camps, right? So there's like little research facilities. Nero camps. So you go in there and you sort of clear it out, whatever you got to do. And they have, when you reboot the power, they tend to have speakers. They'll be like, hey, survivors, come here, survivors. So yeah, this one had 4. I'm like, okay, at this point, everyone I've had 3. So I'm like, sweet, 1, 2, 3, beautiful.
Hey, everyone!
everyone! I'm like, oh fuck.
No.
But I got what I needed, and I hightailed it, and I left the speaker going. So as I hightailed, there were about 6 of them.
And then you come back?
I came back later, and then there was like 30 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Yeah. I had the same thing.
So I pissed off again. And I haven't gone back yet, but it's going to be bad.
I had the same thing. I took out 2 of these speakers, and I didn't realize there was a third one, because you can take them out before you turn the power on. I didn't realize, but the third one was like down a bit. I didn't see it. So I'm like, turn the power on, hopped up on the roof, and it's like, I'm like, oh no. And I just surveyed the area, and just from every direction, here come these freakers. And it's that, fuck, like, how am I going to get out of this? Because my bike's on the other side of them, because I left it over there like a fucking idiot. Yeah.
The funnest thing is, like I said, I've there has been a moment where I've gone up over a hill, and as I've peaked the hill, I've looked down like, there's so many like, I'm like, well, I can't reverse. I'm gonna fuck it, and like, I'm gonna fang it through this on the bike. No, I'm gonna survive this. Yeah. I literally hit a brick wall of freakers. I fell off and then got mushed.
Yeah, but the thing you can do with them if you're clever, I've only done this once, is I had to take out an outpost of Rippers, another enemy, who are humanoid, who are humans, but they're real fucked up in the head. I don't know their story yet, but they're not good. They like to kidnap people and just torture the fuck out of them until they agree to join the Rippers. I had to do clear out a camp of them, and there was a horde. So you get an item called what's it called? It's a distraction.
tractor.
An attractor.
Yeah.
I threw it next to the Ripper camp, and the Horde's like, went to the Ripper camp, and the Ripper's like, fuck! And the Horde just took out the Ripper camp for me. I'm watching it. Kill 1 of 14. 2 of 14. 7 of 14. I didn't have to do shit. I just sat on my...
And the Horde just kept going.
I just sat on my bike. But then another time I was getting chased by a Horde. I'm like, I'll use the attractor, and then I'll just bomb the shit out of him. I used the attractor, and I was like, fuck, I don't have any bombs. I started making my bombs. I'm like, okay. And the Horde's just in front of me at this attractor. There's like 40 of them. I'm like, all right. But then I like pulled out the Molotov, and the attractor's like, ew. And stopped, and they were like... It does a good job. You can never play safely. I mean, you can. You've got the crossbow for silent kills. You can do stealth kills, but there's always a chance that you will fuck something up. One will see you, which just chain reacts into needing to dynamically change how you're playing the game, which is cool. Even though mission structure so far is pretty samey, clear out the nests and do this and clear out the camp and all that. How you do them all is very different just because of circumstances. Sometimes you can do a whole silent camp kill and be like, yes, no dramas. Other times you get spotted, and then the gunshots let that freaker know, hey, there's shit happening here, which that freaker goes, bleh! And then the one just close to him goes, bleh! And like a chain across the map.
Yeah.
And you end up getting swarmed, and you have to deal with that on the fly, and you can never just you can never relax, really. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Yeah. The gameplay loop is always changing just because of how the freakers interact with the world, and it's very cool.
The sense of being overwhelmed by those freakers happens so fast.
Yeah, because you'll see like 5, and you're like, okay. Even 5, you're like, when you're just on foot, you're like, oh, okay. And then you see another 5, and then all of a sudden there's 30.
Because like on top of that, when in terms of weapon ammo, right? Like you find it, you don't find it a lot, but you find it. But unless you go back to either your base camp or one of the regular camps, you'll only ever pick up like 4. I don't know why that is. You're like, oh, there's 4 bullets. There's the bullets.
You can get an upgrade for your bike, an ammo bag.
Yeah, which I haven't got yet.
But you can get that.
But I mean that, and so when you go find like a handful, so you can't just unload into a Horde. You're like, I only have like 20 rounds.
Yeah, you have to think about how you're going to do this. You have very finite ammo. You have very finite, grenades and resources, very finite crossbow bolts, and you have to really think of how you can do it. The best thing I've found, have you found the recipe for the crossbow where it like mind controls an enemy? Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's so, especially in like human camps, you just shoot one of them with a gun and they go, and just look at all their friends, because the NPCs have unlimited ammo. Yeah. I just pop 2 of them with the mind control bolt and just let them do it. And I'll just sit back and just watch and then clean up at the end. You have to be smart. You have very limited resources. I like how the crafting menu is set up. Very intuitive, very quick to craft what you need.
It's all based on like a radial wheel, yeah. So it's very easy. You hold it, press a button.
Time slows down.
Yeah,
Yeah, you rotate around to your grenades. If you hold there for half a second, it'll open up the actual grenades, and you just roll around to what you want. Craft it.
It's very sleek,
very
easy,
simple. Very sleek. I think it's great.
But there are 3 main systems, or 3 main like key sort of mild mechanics, right? And that is the Horde we just discussed. The second is make it 4 is the stealthiness of it. Then there's the gunplay. Then there's the bike itself. Mm-hmm. So how are you finding this stealthy aspect so far?
Stealth is good.
Yeah,
stealth is fun.
I find the stealth the most enjoyable.
Yeah, me too.
I'm enjoying sneaking around, raiding shit, collecting scrap, and then finding something, shanking it, and like that's the fun for me.
Using a rock for distraction.
Majority of the time, stealth missions normally suck dong, but like I'm enjoying this way more than I expected. Yeah. So, side note as well, because like when we at PAX, the 2 missions we played was a campaign and a Horde. The campaign mission was literally the second mission of this, so it doesn't feel like you've been spoiled anyway. So when I was like, hey, I do exactly what I did at PAX.
Yeah. The stealth gameplay is very good. And I like, at night time, the freaker's vision is obscured, so you can get a lot closer to them without them noticing you. but there's more of them at night time. During the daytime, a lot of them are in their nests. Whereas if you Molotov a nest during the day, fucking heaps will come out because they're all nesting during the day. If you Molotov it at night time, only a couple are going to come out. But there's more around you. So the world does feel very dynamic in that way. The day-night cycle means something in terms of traversing.
What about gunplay?
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's adequate.
I didn't like it until I got the ability to slow down time.
The focus shot?
The focus shot. When I got that, I was like, because I use a rifle, like a single shot. It makes you line up headshots pretty easy. Headshots, I think, are always instant kill, regardless of the enemy. Unless I've got a helmet or something on. I've found every time I've got a headshot, it's died. Whereas it takes 3 body shots. So it's okay.
I find myself using melee weapons a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
Like I forever have something, and I'll repair it if I need to, or I'll find something cooler. But like even when I clear nests, it's set fire to the nest. All right,
Stand out the front.
Pong 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 pong. Next nest. Pong 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 pong.
Yeah, the melee options are very good, especially if you put some points into it.
Sorry, I forgot that I said wang those kids. Because Paul James says fucking wang those kids. Could have picked a better choice of words there, man.
Nah, we wang them. Now, the melee combat, I think, is very good. Very meaty. You know, it feels
And
good. You
it's
know,
very
lopping off body parts and all that kind of stuff.
It's very simple in terms of there's no direct lock on. But it's all direction based. So if you hit one guy and as you hit him, you move the left stick in the direction you want to go, you'll just then combo into the other guy.
Yeah.
Like there's no like lock, punch, punch, lock, punch, punch. So it's a bit more flowy in that sense.
And you can just spam it.
Yeah.
Just spam the fuck. But you know, when I first saw the weapons have durability, I was like, no.
I hate weapon durability so much.
No. But it's fine. It doesn't really hinder me in any way.
Yeah.
Once I got the ability to repair them with scrap.
Yep. First skill point I used was for the scrap weapon repair. So now whenever I go to a new area, I'm just like raiding some vehicles, grab the scrap I need, repair it, clear the nest out, repair it, and bounce.
The bike is good.
Oh yeah, and the fourth one is the bike.
Took me a while to get used to it, especially just like turning, because I'd be like, I want to turn left, and then do like a fucking 180 degree turn because it's very touchy. But once you get used to it, it's fine.
Well, when the game first starts, you have your decked out bike, right? It's the bike that the Deacons had forever. And when I was playing, I'm like, this feels really heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it felt so heavy and tough to maneuver. And once again, I myself never riding an actual bike. I don't know whether that's true or not. But I can imagine it's heavy. And then in the cutscenes, when you see him lift up, he's like, fuck. Oh, like every time he has to move that bike, it's an effort. I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe the bike's
it is really
just
fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when that bike gets, for whatever reason, removed and you have to start from scratch, that low-end bike is very jerky. And then as you upgrade it, you get that better control. So it was that situation of, oh, okay, like this feels really heavy and unmanageable.
But I'm gonna upgrade myself to that point.
Yes,
my handling is a lot better.
Yeah, and then as you start to realize that you can sort of, drift into turns rather than like lean, you find yourself getting a lot quicker grapple on it. The one thing that I thought would irritate me the most is the bike's durability, which although any nick and bump will bring it down, it's not like 100, 145. Like it is relatively proportional to what you do to it, and because the abundance of scrap, you never really feel you're in a tough spot.
You can repair the bike on the fly if it gets damaged with your scrap. I thought the fuel would really bug me.
Same.
And it did initially. Fast traveling is tied to your bike and your mileage and how much fuel you would need to get from where you are to where you want to go. If you don't have enough fuel in your bike, you can't fast travel there. But when you know what to look for, fuel is fucking everywhere.
It really is.
You can top it up at if you can't fast travel to where you want to go, but you have enough to fast travel to a camp, you just fast travel to a camp, top your fuel up there. Your home base has a permanent fuel tank there,
which is nice as well. So if you happen to find a servo, you don't have to get off your bike.
I only noticed that this morning actually, because I always got off the bike at the servo, picked up the jerry can, and did it that way. And I just pulled up next to the gas pump. He's like, I'm like, oh. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm like, that's cool. Yeah. No, the bike is fine, and there's many upgrades, so you can upgrade everything and custom paint jobs. And it all seems to mean something in terms of the durability bars
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. I upgraded the fuel tank twice. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do feel that the bike is an extension of Deacon, and I like that a lot. Like you really get because it's so heavily involved with everything you do in this game. Like it becomes another character in and of itself. So I really enjoy that part of it.
And I like the lead up to the game is like, well, there's zombies everywhere, and he's riding like the loudest vehicle. Is that going to play into it? It does. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, it totally does.
He will just drive through, like, I'll just drive through all these freakers, and he'll like, they can't catch you if you're going fast enough. Yeah, he just doesn't care.
But the noise reduction is also a thing, of
Yeah, you
course.
can do that.
If you depending on what items you have on your bike, you can bring it down as well.
In summary, the game is good, and it's getting better the more I play it.
Yeah.
I do want to get into a few. I've got notes.
Yeah.
stuff.
We've just praised it for a little while. Do you want to bring down some of your? Because obviously we'll go super hard when we have a full review, probably in a week or so. But what are some of the negatives you picked up there?
I had a few times I've had voice catch up. Do you understand what I mean by that? So like I'll trigger something and then do another thing and another thing that all requires a voice line, but I won't hear anything. And then about 30 seconds later, it'll start playing all of those at the same time.
I've had a lot of audio double up.
Double up, but even delayed. Like I'll pick up a voice recording and it'll go, oh, I wonder what this says. And then he'll start responding to what they said about 45 seconds later, but the recording starts playing at that same time.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah.
Had that a couple of times. Not a big deal. Is annoying though. I initially put down Deacon's voice inflections not matching the situation he's in, but I've started to think that's just a quirk of his personality. Although I'll be like stealthing through doing a mission and it's like, hey Deacon, are you there? Yeah, Talk, I'm here. I'm like, shh, shh.
Yeah, dude, the amount of time that so Boozer gets injured in your first mission, and then he proceeds to call you 18 times in a row. Like, go to bed. Hey, Dick, go to fuck bed.
Hey man, I got bored. I crafted you some things. Like, shh, shut up.
No, it's just more of this that like it would literally stop you, drive a bit further. Hey, Dick, like it's just like, dude, like I understand what you're trying to do here, but you've front loaded me with here. You've given me a fucking ton.
Or sometimes he'll start just shouting. I'm like, why are you yelling right now?
Yeah.
But maybe that's a quirk of him.
And there's a lot of external exposition. Like,
Oh yeah.
everything is like, ooh, what's over there? Oh, it smells like a fucking freak's nest.
Oh, there's a nest. It's nearby.
And I understand why, like that needs to happen.
Yeah.
But
It's a little overbearing sometimes.
a little bit, yeah.
I hijacked a motorbike, and
But then
it
again,
disappeared.
Uncharted does the same thing with Nathan Drake.
Oh, they all
He
do.
commentates his entire life story.
God of War was lucky in the way that the game was designed
Because it had
to have
Atreus, there's-
Atreus and Mimir.
There's always discussion.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, speaking of my Kratos figures, I
that's not bad.
have an Atreus one.
That's all right, not bad.
He was my mirror on his bike.
I hijacked a motorbike and it just disappeared. Like I found a bike, I'm like, this is mine now, and then I had a cutscene and it was gone. Like, oh.
Yeah, I think you're very because you can take up the Marauders bikes, but I don't think it wants you to. Because I find that like you guys like, hey, that's not your bike,
Yeah.
but I can ride it.
Yeah.
I wish
But
I
as
could.
soon as you get into a cutscene, it's gone.
I wish I could scrap the other bikes that I find and like take their fuel.
I
or
wish
something.
I wish you could find bikes in the world that had like better handlebars, and you're like, hey Manny, take them and put them on mine, please. You know, my bike's here. I've ridden another bike I found in the wild back to you.
Yeah.
You know, what can you?
Or
do
even
for
you
me?
do it there. You scrap it and you like.
Yeah, or that.
You just put it on the bike and then you. That's a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit too RPG for what this game wants to be.
Cutscenes. I had a few issues with some of these. Number one, it'll fast travel time if the cutscene is supposed to happen at a certain time of day.
That happens in Far Cry games. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and it's a little annoying. It's a little thing, but it's like the cutscene, because it would make sense if what was about to happen needed to be like at a certain time of day, but oftentimes it's not. It's just like they rendered this cutscene to happen at night, so I'm going to fast travel you to night. Has no pertaining anything to the story. It's just we only rendered it at night time. That's a little bit annoying. Cutscene teleportation. Let's say there's a circle you've got to go in. That looks like a butt. Let's say there's a circle you need to go in for this cutscene to trigger. And I come in from the south. Cutscene triggers. I'm on the hill on the north. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit annoying. But the only time that really gets me is when I'm either on or off the bike. It's like I'll ride up to the cutscene on my bike, cutscene triggers, and I'm walking. Or I'll walk into a cutscene, but the cutscene needs me on my bike, so the cutscene goes, and I'm on my bike. Yeah. It's a kind of immersion breaking kind of stuff.
Yeah, what I find specifically is once you hit the radius of that circle, it'll teleport you to whatever it needs it to do. So like, if you
whether you're on your bike or on foot doesn't
say
matter.
there was like one of the first ones is there's a body that you need to look at, right? So I come in on my bike and then it goes, and I'm just there. Like, just cuts to black, and like the only one time the fucking loading screen is quick, goes, pew, and I'm there. I'm like, like that. Like, there's none of this. I can understand it's a small animation to get you get off the bike and walk up to it, and like even if they trigger like the radius, then go okay, now go to this thing. But instead, it just goes radius, cutscene here.
The cutscenes are designed in one way. And no matter what you're doing leading up to triggering that cutscene, it will put you into where it wanted you to be for that cutscene.
That's what I explained. Yeah.
With no passing animations or anything. Which is, the cutscenes are all good. It's just I've noticed sometimes I'm on my bike and the cutscene triggers and I'm not. Or I'm not on my bike and the cutscene triggers and I'm flying at 100 miles an hour down the road.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, immersion breaking. Missions don't intersect. So I found I'm in an area... I don't think you've done this mission yet, so I won't go too much about it, but I'm in an area, I need to do a thing, right? I notice in that area, there's a nest, which is for a side mission to clear out all the nests. I can't do it because I'm doing that mission. I can't interact with that because I'm doing
I guess that's the problem. Like,
mission.
so that's probably the only hiccup with the way this game is structured. Like, it is open world, but it is still very mission to mission. Yeah. So like as you mentioned, there's no intersect.
Once you trigger a mission, you can't intersect with other missions nearby. There's a designated area that you can't leave. A leaving mission area. Well, really? Like, yeah, I know, but let me, because it's an open world game. So, let me do whatever I want. I even found I had a mission in a graveyard to, like, find a statue. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And it's like, leaving mission area. It's like, I'm still in the graveyard. I'm just at the other end of it.
Just not
it's tethered like, very closely.
But you're not going in the direction we want you to.
Yeah, so little, it's not huge. I have this one guy in my game who is everywhere.
Is he wearing a blue beanie?
Sometimes. I'm talking about his face.
Yeah.
This bloke is absolutely everywhere.
I've saved this one guy.
I've saved him twice.
From 4 cars.
I've saved one guy from getting hijacked by another guy on a bike, and he's like, oh, thank you, man. I'm like, yeah, there's a camp over there, man. Just go there. He's like, yeah. And then about 3 hours later... he's in a car. Yeah. And I'm like, you're meant to go that way. This is a different character. As far as, it's not like, hey man, haha, you got mixed up. It's like, you treat it as a new NPC. Like, go to that camp over there. Okay. And then I go to that camp, and he's a guard, he's a merchant, he's an NPC, and he's my bounty guy. All wearing different shirts. Same guy. So I like to picture that. To that point, I pictured this guy as just some poor sod just getting caught up in all these wacky situations.
He said, look, I have 8 jobs at this camp, apparently.
Yeah. No, like, so he was trapped by a biker, and then he was trapped by a freaker in a car, and then I'm like, he's a guard at the camp. I'm like, oh, you made it. Good man. Why are there 4 of you? I think Paul's seen that same guy.
But I love it. It's like, if you go to the next step, he's like, oh, hey, the guard. Could you walk in? He's like, what do you need me? You need bounties? Okay. Hi, I'm the bounty man.
He's still got the mustache.
Yeah. He's like, oh, shit. I can repair your bike. Yeah.
But it's only that model.
Yeah.
There's plenty of NPC models, but just this one model just seems to be everywhere. Which is, it's fine. It's okay, I suppose. That's about it. And I had convenient unlimited fuel. So on the missions where you've got someone on the back as part of the story and you need to take them somewhere, you've got unlimited fuel. Doesn't matter what you had. Little thing, just like you have unlimited sidearm ammo when you're on your gun, when you're on your bike. Because you can fire your sidearm on your bike.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh. I've run out of ammo when I've been on my bike.
In a story mission though?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because when you're riding around the world, shoot your gun, it takes your sidearm ammo. But in part of the story mission to like catch this guy, you got as much as you want.
Oh no, I ran out.
Really?
And I had to ram the shit out of him.
I didn't even have an ammo bar for me. I'm just like,
I'm like, pew, 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 pew. And then it's like, ran out, and it's like, so I had to fucking ram the dude. And he went into a tree, and he's like, yeah, that's what happened. So like, I poof into a tree, and cut to black. he's in the middle of a road going,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking cuffing him. I'm like, none of that happened. Literally none of that happened.
Yeah. I also had Deacon not likable. These are my notes as I've been playing. I haven't edited them in any way, but now I'm finding Deacon to be understandable. Not so much I don't like him anymore. That's what I had from negative. It's just the little things, right? Like I said, this feels like an open world game from 4 years ago. All those little quality of life things aren't really there, but it doesn't mean the game isn't fun to play. It's just you have to kind of adjust how you're playing the game.
I think the biggest problem that Days Gone is facing, that it's come out after Spider-Man, God of War, you know, like Horizon, like all these really killer games. Because I do certainly think part of Days Gone was supposed to come out.
Well, it's
way
been in
back.
development for 6 years.
Yeah, like I have a feeling that it should have already been out, and I for that reason it's probably fine, right? But when you're stacked up against the likes of a console defining game like God of War, you're gonna have a hard time.
But even like I said before, it's console defining, but you got to remember that this is Ben's first.
Oh no!
No, I'm not debating that to you. I'm talking just to the general audience who are shitting on this game for no reason. You have to remember this is Ben's first mainline game since the PS2. Guerrilla Games, Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, they've got their shit down. They know what they're doing. They've had the same engine for years, had the same team. They're all sweet. Everything's cool. Bender they're just getting into it. And I think that's what a lot of people aren't realising.
Paul ran out of ammo to and ran the fuck out of that dude. So he must have just had a lucky moment.
Maybe lucky.
Yeah.
Pew, pew. It is come out after all these huge games, Insomniac as well, all huge games from huge studios. But this is their first foray into it for a decade plus.
Like my biggest concern, and this is a concern we've had a discussion around before, is just the idea that for a lot of places they're ranking it like a 7, and like there seems to be this consensus within games press that anything under a 7 is trash, or anything under 8 is trash, which is not. It's not true at all. Like it's 1 trash, 2 trash, 3 trash, 4 trash, 6 trash, 7 trash, 8 pretty good, 9 great, 10 brilliant. Like that's not how this works. That's, like if that's the scale, why doesn't everyone fuck off the 10-point scale
just have
and
5.
go?
Have 3 trash, good, brilliant.
Yeah, that's it.
Like ACG does. It's like either buy, wait for sale, or never touch.
Yeah,
that's his rating system.
Like, and that's what I think, because the problem with a big scale like that is it's hard to differentiate the problems. And on top of that, I fucking hate the internet of its collectiveness of, reviews suck. Review means nothing. It aligns with my pre-held beliefs. Ha ha! Reviews are awesome.
Yeah,
like it's the hypocrisy around this. Like if this was a game, like let's talk about Uncharted 4. Right? Remember the controversy that someone gave Uncharted an 8.7 rather than a 9 or above.
It's like when Jim Sterling gave Breath of the Wild a 7 instead of a 10 out of 10, like everybody else.
And then you know what that game is? The game's a fucking 7. Like it's that thing, right? And they're like,
Breath of the Wild is a 5. At best.
But you know what I mean? Like if with the situation, if it's like, I expected this to be an average game, therefore I agree with the review. Uncharted, like Zelda's a 7.
I think this game's
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
And that is such a problem because this game is a good fucking game.
Yeah.
And like, granted, you could take that however you want, take it a grain of salt. You know, we got given a copy and we run a PlayStation show. Like
I got given a copy. You paid $100
I bought $200 and something fucking collector's edition. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
I've shat on games we've got codes for before.
I've shat on plenty of games.
So
we shat on games all the time. But the point, like, if you want to take that grain of salt with us, yeah, fucking go, good on ya. But like
I said, this is my list of negatives. Like, I'm not kissing this game's dick.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, I know, but you can see text. I've got this whole thing of shit. I'm like, that's, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, we've sort of changed.
Shills, Paul said.
But like it's one of those things. It's just it's okay to be good.
It's okay to be okay.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's like with movies are either dumpster fires or they're fucking brilliant. Like one of the websites we used to work for, one of the writers, he only ever sees movies as shit or good or shit or brilliant. Like he'll see Aquaman, best fucking superhero movie ever. And then it's fine. And then it's like Captain Marvel, best superhero movie ever again. I'm like, what, mate.
No. Look,
like there's no this is a discussion we've had 1,000 times. The lack of nuance in the industry right now is disgusting.
That's why I try not to follow it.
Actually disgusting. Like if and then because then it becomes a bandwagon, everyone, in order to feel validated, jumps on the point of, I think the game shit too, right? High five me? High five me? High five me? You high five me? No. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem that we've got right now. And I guess, we can't complain because we are too also voices on the internet. And if you want to think, which is probably not half wrong, the idea of like having a podcast on the internet is also screaming for external validation. It might be, but totally is. But you know what I mean? Like it's that same thing. It's just I hate it.
Look, a lot of people have started being like, this is the end for Bend and all that kind of stuff. It's not.
It's not.
It's not because Sony let them go for 6 years on this. Santa Monica had already started a new game before God of War, and they scrapped it and started on God of War. Sony are being very lenient lately with their first party studios, and from my perspective, they want Ben to be one of their big studios.
I agree.
And they've given him 6 years of breathing room, and the game is out, and it's obvious throughout playing the game, as you get further in, they're learning things and things are changing, things are looking better.
Character models increase as you play.
As you play the game, the characters actually start to look better and better in the cutscenes. They're learning, and Sony really wants them, in my opinion, to be, you talk about Naughty Dog and Santa Monica, they want Ben to be up there too, and they are giving him that breathing room.
Yeah.
Sony knows the game isn't dog shit. They know it's not. Because...
Like, I think they knew that it might be lesser.
Yeah. But I think they're willing to take that in order to get Ben to where they want him to be.
Every time the first thing you do of anything always fucking sucks. Like, sucks compared to what you end up doing. Look at God of War 1, still really good, but you compare it to the God of War we just experienced. Like, there is such a difference between those two, and that comes from practice and learning. And like, even if you look right now, if you look at what Bend have done when they, were Bend, when they were, whatever they were called before they were Bend, like, you look at Siphon Filter 1, which I played on a stream the other week, game's fucking shit house. I thought that game was brilliant growing up, and it's shit.
I think they did Killzone and Uncharted.
They did Killzone Mercenaries on Vita. They did Uncharted Golden Abyss. They did, the Siphon Filters on
Resistance
PS2.
on PSP.
Resistance on PSP. And then if you look at Siphon Filter, or even if you look at some of the Resistance or whatever, compare it to this, they have come so far. And even though it's not our final review yet, and we'll get there's probably loose thoughts will come of that, but I wouldn't surprise me if there's a sequel for this at some point.
I'm not saying the game's a 10 out of 10 because it's not.
It's not.
But I'm not also saying it's shit because it's not. I'm having a good time. Am I having the best time? No. But I'm having a good enough time to keep wanting to go back to it and play it. And that's all that really matters.
Yes. So right now, like I said, last night I left the house. Surprise. I went to Melbourne to watch fucking wrestling. It was really cool. But the whole drive there and the drive back, I was thinking about Days Gone.
I've got a few notes of good things I want to point out. Now that we've been the negatives and the cutscenes are weird and all that kind of stuff.
Josh is... sorry, you're Josh.
I'm Josh.
Paul has jumped in because imagine people who didn't review the game calling it out as shit the moment reviews go live. Because at this point, no one had fucking played it other than reviewers. And even then, select reviewers, man. Like, I know for a fact that 4 people, 4 outlets in Australia had it prior to release day. In terms of they had it for 2 weeks or whatever. Majority of people had them the week of. They had it the Wednesday, public holiday on the Thursday. So unless you lived in Sydney, you got it Friday.
We got dicked over because of the public holiday. We did get it on Friday, which was sweet.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, majority of people that would review it got it later.
Yeah. Good stuff. 1, as we already spoke about, it looks fantastic. Number 2, the music is amazing. And the ambience is amazing. Riding down the bike during a thunderstorm with this really melancholic guitar tune playing is incredible. It feels so cool and so lonely because Deacon is fucking lonely. The weather effects are fantastic. I've had snowstorms, which is incredible. You're nearly there. Yeah. thunderstorms, but different kinds of thunderstorms. Like it's not Division 2, for example. You get thunderstorms. They're dope. Always the same. It's like, here's the thunderstorm on you now.
There's no drizzle. It's you're about to get fucking pounded on.
Yeah, but it always feels the same.
Yeah.
Same like, but you can have a thunderstorm at different times of the day, and it feels different. If you take a screenshot every day at midday and put them all next to each other, they're all very different. Just to how the clouds are set, how much sunlight there is, how much it's raining. Every day feels different because the weather system is fantastic and it looks fantastic. The rain does kill my frame rate sometimes. I've got to say that.
I've only had one hitch, maybe.
Only when
two.
I'm flying down the road on the bike during the rain.
Yeah.
I stutter a little bit. But the music is fantastic. Just riding around is great. Have you been in a gunfight in one of the tunnels yet?
No.
With other like
no,
people
I've
with
only
guns?
done like
freakers.
freakers in the tunnel. Yeah.
The muzzle flashes in the tunnel. I've never seen anything like it before. It lights up the whole tunnel, each gunshot, because of the muzzle flash. Because it's so dark in the tunnels, there's no natural light in there. You've just got your torch and your bike's light, which you can turn off. But someone shooting at you, you can see where they are, but the whole tunnel is illuminated with every shot. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. It's so good. This note here, it's called Fuck, It's a Bear.
I haven't seen a zombie yet.
I was doing a mission, and it's like you got to save someone and then get them to your bike and get them to the camp. Easy enough. Stealthing through, stealthing this freaker and all that. Bike's around there. I'm like, all right, the bike's just... Deacon's like, the bike's just around the corner. Go. And she's like, ah! I'm like, what? It's a bear! next to my bike, and she dives in the dumpster to hide from the bear. You got to kill the bear and get on your bike. Yeah. It's just such a cool moment. Because the bears are huge.
They called it Ravengers, I think the bears are called?
No.
No?
It's just called a bear.
Well, because I in terms of the
Unless
social...
it's infected bears.
Yeah, the social media posts, like, the fucked up bears, they're called something.
Okay.
So this isn't a zombie
This
bear.
was just called bear.
Oh, so it's not a zombie bear?
No.
Man,
but it was huge.
Dude, you should wait to see zombies.
It was as big as an SUV. Like
Yeah.
the cars, the real big cars. I don't know if you know what an SUV is. But it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how my companion dived in the dumpster and, I set the bear on fire, and it's like, it didn't give a fuck. It's just a cool moment. And my note was just, fuck, it's a bear. Because I went, fuck, it's a bear.
I've had a couple of jump scares. Bears are rages. Thank you, Paul. I've had a couple of jump scares.
I've had a few jump scares.
Yeah,
too.
it's been good.
Yeah.
One of the first ones when you're going through the tunnel for the first time, you're like, hey, I think... Because, there's a little icon on a door you can open. I'm like, hey, I can open that.
What else was I going to... Hiding, because you can hide in dumpsters to, lose aggro and stuff like that. But if one of them sees... A freaker sees you go in there, it's banging on it, and it's kicking it, and it's trying to get you out of there.
Will it open it and pull you out?
No, I haven't had that. But I only had one, and it, just saw me. But, it was cool, because I'm hiding there, I'm like, ha-ha! And then it's...
Because that's way more intimidating than it pulling you out.
Yeah, and then it's thumping on it, and I'm like... The fuck? I thought I was meant to lose aggro.
Well, because when we played Outlast or whatever, and that you hide and they see it, and they open it and just yank you the fuck out, and you're like, your health was gone. This is way more intimidating. If they just bang until you get out, you're like,
you gotta get it up and all right. I do want to try hiding in a dumpster near a horde just to see what happens. Whether they're going to push it down the hill or something like that. That'd be amazing.
Pick it up.
Yeah, the game is good. I'm having a good time. I will continue to have a good time because it's a good game.
Fucking hell.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to... So I did reach out to the community to ask what their thoughts were, and I'm putting that up as we get ready to finalise our thoughts. But yeah, so overall your first impressions are it's fucking right.
That's it. It's fucking good.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm enjoying it. I guess because I'm not really playing anything else right now. Like I said, I've been playing my time at Porsche. Game's dope. It's like I've been playing different games, and yes, I've been excited for this, and yes, is there some hype to it? Yeah, a little bit. Am I playing it so I have to, validate my purchase of collector's edition? No, I was going to buy it anyway because it's PlayStation First Party. I wanted it for the shelf, so regardless of the game being any good, it's on the shelf. I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm hoping there to be some resolution to Deacon's story, because
Shut up, Windows.
In terms of like a lot of the reviews are saying that Duke is really unlikable and he's really arrogant. You know, there's no redeeming qualities. But then some people that have also played it, they're like, there's more. Like when by the end of it, you have a better understanding, and that is what I'm hoping. Paul, let us know what your thoughts are, man, because I know Paul's been playing as well. He also did get Set Code. So like for that reason, I'm like, I want to see where this goes. I want to find out the fate of Sarah, because as I said, it's up in the air whether she's dead or not. I just want to play more of it. And like,
I'm finding it. It's
I want to upgrade my bike.
It's like it's like a $10 bottle of red.
Yeah.
Right. You open it, you pour a glass. You're like, that's pretty good.
You let it sit there for a little bit.
It's pretty good. You let it sit there for a bit in a decanter. Come back an hour later, go, that's a bit better than it was before. Come back a couple of hours later again. This is spectacular.
Brilliant.
And I'm finding that with this. The more I'm playing, at first I was like, oh.
Yeah, it felt a
But
little
the more I am
stuff.
playing it, the more I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So we did reach out to the PopC community. Once, as always, we did it like 20 minutes before the fucking show goes live.
Yeah, man.
So we may not have a lot of responses, and we don't. We have one. So Sean Levitt, who we haven't heard from in a while, good old Sean Levitt, he says, I'm really enjoying it so far. A few ideas borrowed from other games, I can certainly agree with that, but also some clever, unique gameplay ideas. I'm always a bit on edge while playing, so many things can just mess you up.
Mm-hmm. Things can go from good to bad really fucking quickly. Paul said he paused on taking a horde. No, he paused taking on a horde to watch us. Thanks, Paul.
And he's like, yeah, for the pause for this.
I don't want to unpause it. I did it once as well. There's a horde. I paused it and I was like,
I did it yesterday. So like just before, like I planned to leave at a certain time to get to the city in time for the wrestling, and I was like, as I came out, that's when I came over the hill and her and into the horde. I'm like, I'm gonna leave now. It's like I've got to go to the city.
I've got like 4 hours to figure out how the fuck I'm going to deal with this when I get home.
But that was our first impressions of Days Gone. Let us know what you think. Have you picked it up? Have you spent some time with it? Jump in those comments below. Head over to the Facebook community group or the Discord. All those links are in the description below. You can always just email your thoughts too if you aren't a fan of the social medias.
I think any more thoughts from that are just going to be on the story. I mean, the gameplay isn't going to change a lot from here on. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be more of like when we do have our review discussion, which ideally would be next week, if not the week after.
I don't know how long the game is.
Yeah, only because we don't know how long the game is. It might be next week, it might be the week after. But I think it'll be like how has these base systems that we've touched upon, how have they improved? Have they improved? Has the story improved? How are we feeling more for the characters? Because outside of Deacon, a lot of the NPCs are kind of just there. Like, you're like, hey, meet Cope. Okay. Meet Tucker. Okay.
I think that also kind of fits the world, though.
Yeah, because
that's the kind of world it is.
Because I think everyone's distant.
Yeah.
In a world where, like, hey, someone came in and punched to death like 2 people and they left. Like, everyone is distant. Like, that's the setup. Like, no one's openly trusting. Like, hey! Except for you and Boozer. Like, that's sort of where it sits. So, I would like to see where that goes. Paul says about 40 hours.
Okay.
But, yeah, let us know what you think. But, look. Fucking Days Gone is old news, man. That game came out like last week. We live in a world where it's fucking fast, and it's new games, and it's new things all the time. So that's why we jump into this section we call Coming to Players. We tell you what games are coming out this week for your PlayStation.
Games coming out 30th of April 2019. Bird Game.
Sold name.
PS4 Digital. Black Paradox. PS4 Digital. Bomb Chicken. PS4 Digital. Box VR, PSVR.
Now, hang
digital.
on. I'm assuming it's a boxing game.
It sure is.
But I was kind of hoping it was just a box. Like, it's cardboard box, the VR.
No. It's box. You have to.
Because isn't box VR what Nintendo has with the VR Labo?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Crashbots, PS4 Digital. The End is Nigh, PS4 Digital. Fade to Silence, PS4 Digital and Retail. This is a game they're pushing at the top, so I'm going to read it. Fade to Silence takes place into a frozen post-apocalyptic world where defying nature's threats and enemies is key. Compelling mix of puzzling story, constant strife for resources, balancing short-term needs versus your long-term goals, and tense atmospheric mood makes this game a unique survival adventure. Cool.
All right.
Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark, PS4 Digital. Geiger Wrecker Alt, PS4 Digital. You ready for this thumbnail?
Yeah.
Tower of Dragon Asia, PS4 digital.
Are you shitting me?
It's so bad.
That's like two people that it looks like someone that's really bad at drawing furries.
It's so bad. I'm going to read it. Experience a unique is right, judging by that picture. Action-packed adventure as a mythical dragon while fighting waves of dragons to ascend to the top of the Tower of Dragon Asia. Play as 5 unique dragons as you venture through 3 worlds of carefully crafted levels and countless waves of enemies in order to climb the mysterious Tower of Dragon Asia.
It's going to be a shitbox game, isn't it?
Yes. Affirmative. You know it's not a shitbox game? Days Gone. That's good.
And that might be the only one you can play this week. Like, look, all those games sound like sound like absolute trash.
I'm sure they're not.
Just go get Days Gone.
But, go get Days Gone. Anything else? Oh, Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
So, have you been keeping up with it, like, at all?
Vaguely. Very vaguely.
I've seen Crash Bandicoot remade in Dreams. I've seen
So Spider-Man?
Spider-Man remade in Dreams. I've seen Silent Hill 2 remade in Dreams. I've seen Pallet Town in Pokemon remade in Dreams in 3D. This is in the first couple of weeks of the game being out.
Saying that, though, this is the problem. This is what I thought was going to be the problem. It's like, I understand that people, there is so much copyright infringement going on right now.
Oh, for sure. But what I'm getting at is the potential of Dreams.
Yeah.
Like, people have figured all this out in a couple of weeks. What's it going to be like next year?
Yeah.
What's it going to be like in 2 years? What are people going to be able to do in this? Copyright infringement aside.
Because saying that, I really like, so I like the idea that everyone's like, hey, I've taken influence from something that I like, and I've now made this. That part's cool. Influences, you are the sum of your influences.
I think it's just people
So it's fine.
figuring out how to use it.
But, I want to see what the new stuff is. If
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to play,
we'll get
if I want to
there.
play Silent Hill, I'm gonna play Silent Hill.
No, I get that. And we will get there. I'm sure there is some cool stuff being
Because
made.
I guarantee you, Media Molecule, we have this great thing. We have this great new thing. Can you not make other games?
Can you not make Nintendo properties, please?
Yeah.
No, but a lot of it, I think, will just be people figuring out how it actually works. With some groundwork for them to kind of copy and be like, how do I make this happen? And then figuring it out. That's just expanding their skill set.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's not going to sit there and remake all of Spider-Man PS4 in Dreams, shot for shot. But they're learning how things work so then they can translate that, hopefully, into their own work. Cool stuff's happening in Dreams. I'm probably not going to buy it, but I'm keen to see where it goes.
Yeah. So it's like $40 right now for the not creator beta, it's the early access. It's got a full fancy name. Look, I'm the same, but I'm interested in it. The problem is I'm not that kind of creative, so for me to sit there and work out how to design a level and do all those things just isn't in my thing. My concern, I would probably be the same person who would make something I know and then stop.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that. I don't want to add fuel to that trash. I say that trash as in I want people to make their own stuff.
Yeah, but I'm sure they will. There's cool stuff happening over there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. Feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/PopCulturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. Might be something there that interests you.
If you do
I
join
got
us,
you there, didn't I?
hey.
Hey.
If you do join us on Patreon, you can watch us record the show live.
As Paul always does.
As Paul always does, because Paul is a fucking champ. And because he's like, oh, hey, and then probably opens upon his phone.
Yeah.
Because we send him the email notification going, here's the link. Yeah, we should probably be more schedulized. But our lives are fucking busy, man.
Yeah, man.
So we can't always do it. If you want to show live PopCulturists on your body, here's popculturists.com/shop. You can buy shirts like this and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/PopCulturists. And if you need some more PopCulturists in your ear holes, why don't you go check out The Young and the Wrestlers, our WWE podcast every Friday morning. It's good fun.
Cool.
But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And that was For the Players.
The voices of reason in the podcast community.
For the players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast is fan-supported at patreon.com/thepopculturists. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: Damien Holdies, Hakim NPC, Lee Wintershoven, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.